Hey guys, today I want to talk about fear. I want to talk about its role in the actions you take and the plans that you make. And we're going to stop the rhyming from here on out. Fear is somewhat inevitable if you are embarking on self improvement. I don't want anyone to expect, like, for those of us to take it seriously anyway, those of us to take achieving our goals seriously, self improvement seriously, don't expect this road to be easy and don't expect it not to challenge you. And obviously, one of the biggest challenges you can face is facing your fears. And it depends sometimes on which areas you're focusing the most on. I can definitely argue and attest that for improving your dating, that whole journey, you will have to fight a ton of fear. And most of it will be around like social fear. A lot of it will be down like approach anxiety, the fear of talking to women, the fear of making a move, the fear of putting yourself out there to be hurt potentially. There's so much fear that you have to face. As someone who's been through the whole journey and come out the other side with a decent amount of success, I know that it's integral to your journey, to be able to become someone who can succeed in the modern dating world. And there's no way around it. There just isn't. There is no way around you facing your fears, especially if you have them, especially if you got like me a little bit later on in life and you didn't have any success. It's going to be worse. Like if you're a little bit older, if you're in like your late 20s, your 30s, and you've just decided, okay, I need to start like actually succeeding at one of these key parts of life, you're going to have more fear, you're going to have more anxiety, and those things need to be overcome. There are fortunately several things you can do, like the approach anxiety program from Good Looking Loser is a good example, where he like through exposure therapy, through like exposing you to a little bit of anxiety and fear at a time, you learn that it's not such a big deal. And that's what my advice is going to be centered upon, the idea that a lot of your fears are not going to be big deals. They're going to be bigger in your head than they are in reality. A good bit of advice I got from Andy, and I don't know where I got it from. I think it was in a podcast he did with Imogen, where he said when he's like afraid or worried about something, he basically writes out the worst case scenario or comes up with the worst case scenario. And from there, he can see whether or not he should be like so afraid of it. You can also make contingency plans like for things that could go wrong. Those are the two benefits there. You learn that it's probably not such a big deal, and anything that you are worried about, you can make contingency plans for. That would be the correct way to approach it. Instead of running away, you just have to think like, am I making a big deal out of something? That's what you've got to be like. It's about stopping, pausing, taking a deep breath, and thinking about it in a logical way that will overcome this fear and this like anxiety. And I want to give you guys like a window into my life at the moment to understand that I am also going through something like this with fear. Because obviously I'm trying to build this channel. I'm trying to build my business, thehatfish.com. I'm a style and image consultant if you've seen any of my other videos. And it's come to a point where I've built the content, I've built the products, I've built what I want to sell, and I've built a decent amount of content. And it's like all that's left to do now is marketing and growing. And those are two things that are crucial to this business. And those are two things I'm slightly terrified of, both the growth and the marketing like itself. And this is where like I have to stop and be like, okay, so what of my action plan is being dictated by fear? What of the actions that I want to take am I avoiding because I'm afraid of them? And if I have to write down on a piece of paper, I'm afraid of this, this, and this, then to some extent, the best thing I can do is just do them because I need to expose myself to the fear. I need to realize that these things are rarely such a big deal, especially the growth thing. Like I'm worried about like more having more people come to the channel. I'm worried about having more people come to my articles. I'm worried about lots of people like buying my products. I'm not so worried about the coaching. The coaching is like I've got more control over that, but I don't have control over like people leaving feedback on my content and stuff like that. And I've had a very small taste, but I have had a taste of like negative feedback, of guys having an issue with me, of guys who just put liar in a comment and leave it on a YouTube video. That's happened to me before. Not very often. Like the vast majority of feedback I have gotten has been nice and kind and supportive of what I'm doing. But you're gonna like zone in on the 1% that isn't. And as you grow, as you get bigger, which this channel needs to do, which my business needs to do, those things are going to happen more often. But also, and this is what I hope, I'll have more good experiences as well. And the good experiences will be a bulwark to the nasty experiences. I guess it's a little bit more scary because I've seen Andy, Kill You in a Loser, go ahead of me and seen some of the reactions he's gotten. And I'm like, I don't know like how I'm gonna cope and handle with those things, but I have to learn how to cope and handle with those things. I have to learn to do the scarier side of marketing and promotion, and I have to learn eventually how, hopefully, fingers crossed, how to deal with bigger channel growth and dealing with an audience of a bigger size than I have currently. So that's my fear. That's at the moment, that's the stuff that I'm afraid of, and I'm writing out action plans and telling myself like, are you not doing that because you're afraid, or are you not doing that because it's a like bad idea, basically? And you've got to notice when fear is dictating your actions, which is what this whole video is about. And I know many of you are more likely to be interested in on the dating side, so that's why I started off talking about that before I got into my own stuff. So yeah, do not let your actions be dictated by fear. Don't let your plans be dictated by fear. Stop, analyze whether or not you are acting out of fear, and write out the worst case scenario and realize it's not a big deal and you can work around any negatives that come your way. That's my advice on this. See you guys next week for more videos. Peace out.